What's going on, guys? Sekapoko here, bringing you another One Piece Treasure Cruise video. For this, we'll be going over my multiple team guide for Colosseum Oven, and he's a doozy. Big mechanics here. There's a counter to your counter mechanic, which is really annoying for a lot of teams. So just know that there are ways around this, and we'll be going over them in the video. So without further ado, let's go ahead and jump right into it. Alright guys, let's go ahead and go over Oven as a unit. And overall, Oven is one of the best Colosseum characters to come out in a while. It has been a quick minute since we've gotten some good Colosseum characters, so he's definitely up in the must farm category for me. He's definitely a great character, but you know what? I may change him in this tier as far as everything goes once I go back to the tier list early next month. And just know, if you're wondering when the free-to-play tier list for part 2 is coming out, it's next month. Then we're going to go into his captain ability. He's going to boost the attack of fighter and powerhouse characters by 2.5 times and their HP by 1.2. He's going to deal 3 times the damage received in the previous turn to all enemies at the end of every turn. So kind of a weird captain ability. In my opinion, not the best captain ability, but it is what it is. I mean, overall, as a unit, I like him, but not the best captain ability. I mean, most Colosseum units don't have great captains. He initially has no sailor ability, so just know that if you're using him, no sailor initially. And then when you get his limit break done, he's going to boost the attack of Strength Dex Quick by 40, and then of course boost the HP by 40 as well. So he gets a nice mini stat boost. I mean, it kind of fits for those Lucy teams as well as those Big Mom teams. So I like this character. So what I really like with this character is that his pairing for Lucy teams as well as Big Mom teams is extremely strong because he's going to have a multiple turn orb boost, and we'll talk about him in just a second. His special ability is going to remove any orb rate up, orb rate down effects, and as well as empty all colored orbs, and deal strength damage based on the number of orbs that you're removed to a specific enemy. And then that strength damage is going to then change all the empty orbs that you had into the matching orbs. So it's going to completely remove all your color orbs, change those color orbs to matching orbs, which is great. And then changes, and after that, if the enemy, after it gives you full board orb ability, which is great, if the enemy has delay buff protection, debuff protection, or poison protection, defense protection, not debuff. Defense protection, also it's all debuff, delay, or poison. Then it's going to give you the thing. I thought initially I said defense. I think it might say defense. I have to go ask Solaris and a couple other people to see if it is defense as well, like as far as a defense immunity. But I don't think there's going to be too many stages where you're looking at that specifically. I mean, I think there's only like 3 stages in the game that have just defense immunity. So, I mean, that's not the biggest deal in the world. Going into him a little bit further, he is going to, if you have one of those immunities, boost the orb effects of Strength, Dex, and Quick characters by 1.75. And then if that turn you hit 4 perfects, it's going to then, in the following turn, give you a 1.75 orb boost to Strength, Dex, and Quick characters for 2 additional turns. So, as a unit, he's better than Colosseum Lucy. Like, this is Colosseum Lucy version 2. This is Colosseum Lucy without the orb boost, but instead does flat damage to a character, right? It does a 1.75 orb boost for 1 turn, and then additional in the following turn. So really good pairing with Lucy. So in my opinion, what I would use this character most for is on a Big Mom team with Lucy, the normal Lucy sub, as well as Oven sub, and that's how I would use him. Or using him on a Lucy team if you wanted to. I don't really like Lucy as a captain that much anymore. I'd rather use Big Mom. I mean, to be honest, that's where my mind goes. But I mean, this gives more viability to Lucy, which is cool. Lets you get around to orb, like the orb buff enable interrupts. And then his limit break abilities is going to have Slop Eye and Self Protection, as well as Barrier Penetration. So I've already completely maxed out my Oven, and you can see here he maxes out at 13 turns with 1561 attack, 2,866 HP. His slot seal reduction maxes out at 5, and his barrier penetration is going to max out at 50% HP. So not the best barrier penetration. 50% HP barrier penetration is kind of normal. I mean, there are some legends that go completely through it, which is really nice, but 50% barrier penetration all the same. Being fighter powerhouse, not really going to see barrier penetration a ton, but it is an interesting choice to have barrier penetration on this unit. All right, so I will see you guys in the teams. What up, guys? We're doing our first run through, or second run through, or third run through. I don't actually know. For the new Colosseum Oven, and I'm going to be using a driven team because I haven't gotten to it in a while. But this one is not involving V2 Dofi because V2 Dofi is countered left and right on this fight. So we're going to be using a judge-driven team. No, you do not have to use all driven characters, but it probably would be a good idea. All right, so going into the fight, limited rare recruit Akainu, really helpful unit here because he makes int orbs beneficial for driven characters. The only other character in the game that does that is rare recruit Pika. So if you don't have limited rare recruit Akainu, I'm sorry, but that's the way this cookie crumbles. And they kind of just work together. You know, if you were just going in for the driven batch, that's just how it works. So the first stage here, you're just core stalling. There's no big deal, and you don't have to worry about much. Stage 3 is a little annoying and has like some weird mechanics that I'm not 100% sure on, and is a little finicky. It does things right sometimes and then does things wrong the other time. So I'm not a big fan of it. There's no problems with the attack order in stage 1. There's some problems on the attack order on the next stage, but overall it's not too bad. Oven Colosseum, I would have to say, is probably at this point the most difficult Colosseum in the game. The big mechanic on this Colosseum is that there's a massive death hit, and the problem with the death hit is that the boss will remove any damage reduction that you use the first time you use it, and then won't remove it the second time. So you have to bring 2 damage reducers in some way, shape, or form, which is kind of annoying. I'm not gonna lie, kind of annoying. All right, going into the next stage here, we have the Despair Lady in the front that you never can target, so you have to target her first. And then we have the Dugongs in the back. The Dugongs in the back will enrage after a certain amount of turns, so just make sure to kill those. And if you do need some extra turns as the stalling, this is another stage to get some extra turns to stall. But as you can see, everything's up already, so we can just go into the next room. On the next room here, we are going to have Daifuku. And the thing about this Judge team is that Judge does no damage if you don't have matching orbs. So for this first turn here, don't even try to do damage. Just skip the first turn, take the hit, and move on. And you can see I massively overstalled on this team. Daifuku, if you're wondering, has 1.8 million damage, does 3,700 damage every single hit, and will attack twice every single turn. That's about it. Now, he also has a mechanic. And this is the only other mechanic we've seen on him. He initially will blind you for 3 turns, give you a 1.25 times chain lock for 3 turns. He has another mechanic, and his other mechanic, which is a hidden mechanic, and I don't know when it's triggered, but I know it's not below 20% because it might be below 10%. I'm not really sure, but at a certain percentage or during a certain amount of turns, what he's going to do is give you 99 turns of anti-healing. I have no idea when it occurs. No idea. But it happened to me once. It was actually super freaking annoying. So watch out for that. That's the only other mechanic that you have to be worried about. Other than that, Daifuku, extremely simple. Just do some damage, kill him over how many turns it takes you. For me, it's going to take me 4 or 5, whatever. Overall, he has a 12-turn combo hit barrier and not much other mechanics, so don't worry about him at all. You just blow through him like it's nothing. All right, what I recommend here is try to save 1 Judge orb, just 1. You don't need both, you just need 1, and you need some other int orb. Now, since I have no other orbs on this team, what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna pop this this treble special here, and I'm gonna start chaining up, and then just the last 2 hits here, and then I'll do all my damage on the judges. So normally I would want to have a hit with every unit and do damage with at least, but the thing is, Judge does no damage if you don't do any damage with the Judge orb. And Katakuri has about 3 million HP, 2.9 or so, and then it hits for about 7,200 every single turn. And then after 2 turns, every single turn, he's gonna just do 10,000 damage to you, and that's it. There's really nothing else to it. He's got that int orb barrier, but that's really the only things that he does. On the final boss here for Oven's gonna have 9.5 million HP. Bruh. So that's kind of annoying. And then he paralyzes you and silences you for a few turns. No big deal. Try to do a little bit of damage to him here if you can. You won't be able to kill him in 1 turn, but it seems okay. You see, we have a significant amount of HP. Every 2 turns after turn 1, we're going to get a burn damage, which is going to be 3,000 damage and burn damage every time you hit. So sometimes you do damage, sometimes not. It just really just depends on your luck. And you don't have to worry about sending orbs or anything. You just basically chill in here. Oven's big mechanic is when he dies, he's going to do 450,000 damage to you. So that's really all there is to it there. He also has a below 20% mechanic, I believe. That was that I found out last time, I think. What I'm going to do here is I'm just going to hit it with a couple units here. 1, 2. We're just going to do a little bit of damage here. Try not to trigger that burn damage. Oh, hit 1 burn damage hit. And we hit for about a mil. And just chill. All right, so at this point, what we're going to do is we're going to pop our Judge special. Now, the new 6+ Judge, which is really nice about him, he actually does damage and then has a damage reduction. So it's really helpful for this fight because what happens when you pop a damage reduction, the interrupt is going to remove all positive buffs from you. So you completely lose your damage reduction and you completely lose your attack boost. It also will cut your HP by, I believe, 70%. I think what it is. Maybe 80%. Maybe 90. I don't. I think it might be. I think it's 70. I don't know what it says. Game says 90. I don't think it's 90. I think it has math room, but it might be. Then what we're going to do is going to pop our next Judge special. You can see here, popping a second damage reduction effect. Does not do anything, so we're perfectly fine there. We're going to pop our Barto, which will heal us up to 50% HP and give us our threshold damage protection, protects us from the death hit. Limited Rare Recruit Akainu to give us the 2x orb boost. And we're going to pop Zoro to give us a 1.75 times color affinity. Unfortunately, we will not be able to get the 2 times color affinity just because of the nature of the way the characters work. And then we're going to go ahead and pop our Dofi ship special. And then we're going to hit 2 greats and then perfects on everybody else and make sure to end your turn on the Zoro. Here we go. Great. Great. Perfect. 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 And dead. All right, and then we hit for 9.2 million there. You can see it wasn't quite enough to kill Oven, so we had to do a little bit of damage earlier and do a little bit of damage here. But overall, here comes the 450,000 death hit is going to do, which will be reduced significantly because we have the percent damage reduction and we have the threshold damage cap plus the 2 captain abilities from Judge. So you take almost no damage from that. Really nice. And it makes it so that you just smoke this content with Judge. And I really like that because now Driven is actually having a chance to fight again, so that's great. Driven not getting countered specifically, no Driven counters, nothing, so that's really, really nice. Only thing is V2 Dofi get countered because of the barriers, but beyond that, really cool team. I really liked it a lot, and this was actually really a good team for the content.
Just like a spark that's breaking out. Can't make a stop, can't turn back now. We know that there's no room for doubt. No, we can't turn back now. I see danger in your eyes. They know we'll burn down the night. Coming just like the sunrise. You know that we gonna light it up tonight. We gonna light it up tonight. We gonna light it up just like the sunrise. We gonna light it up now. Can we switch up all the rules and imagine a utopia? Darling, I'm just so fed up with these expectations. They keep weighing me down. My heart is begging me to get the hell out of my head. I'm gonna live inside the upside down for a minute and pretend, honey, I'm a perfect 10. Whoa, whoa, honey, I'm a perfect 10. Whoa, whoa. And if I say it enough, it gets ingrained in my head, and I start to see, honey, I'm a perfect 10. Honey, I'm a perfect 10. Whoa, honey, I'm a perfect 10. Honey, I'm a, yeah, I've discussed it with myself, and I'm disgusted with the way we're told to have a certain face, a certain weight, because we aren't pixels on a screen. No, we're human, we breathe. Every single thing we see curated, it's overrated. These expectations, they keep weighing me down. My heart is begging me to get the hell out of my head. I'm gonna live inside the upside down for a minute and pretend, honey, I'm a perfect 10. Whoa, honey, I'm a perfect 10. Whoa, and if I say it enough, it gets ingrained in my head, and I start to think, honey, I'm a perfect 10. Honey, I'm a perfect 10. Whoa, honey, I'm a perfect 10. Honey, I'm a, yeah.
To live through. You came into my life just like another season. Not for long, just a time, just like another season. Maybe this time next year you'll reappear for no reason. But I'll cherish every day until you come my way this season. just like another season. Not for long, just a time, just like another season. Maybe this time next year you'll reappear for like no reason. But I'll cherish every day until you come my way this season. We will keep on changing all over again. Yeah, we will keep on changing just like another season. Another season. You came into my life just like another season.
A little bit of gold under pressure, you start to fold like a diamond from gold. Maybe you are something I cannot define. Maybe you are the fallen kind. I lay in bed with violence, the silent side of me. We see where fire starts to breathe. When I would lay in silence, the voice inside of me made me use my mind right. Use my mind right. Use my mind right. Lost in the moment, I found myself. Do you ever wanna turn back time? I never even got to say goodbye.
Alright guys, well my name is Sekapoko. Thank you so much for watching. Hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you guys did, of course, consider hitting that like button, subscribe button up there if you do want to get more content every single day. If I do get around to it, all that stuff. If you guys are a newer player, go ahead and check out my Discord in the link description below. And if you guys do want more content on the channel, last two videos right over there. You guys have a great rest of your day. Peace.